morning. It is Sunday, March 30th, 2025. Going to do a little MeBob review, which is also a sort of little visual back test, just 1 week. The week that just ended, so the week from Monday, March 24th, I believe that was, through Friday the 28th. And I'm going to do just a visual back test to see, to test this question: what if, using the MeBob entry rules, which for this exercise is going to be a close at or above the MeBob range high for a long, and a close at or below the MeBob range low to trigger a short. The stop loss will be the 1 tick above or below the MeBob bar. So if you're long, stop loss will be 1 tick below the MeBob bar. And if you're short, stop loss would be 1 tick above the MeBob bar high. And the profit target is going to be 1 times the MeBob bar range. But it's going to be measured not from the entry, but from the MeBob bar high or low. And you'll see what I mean as I go through this. I'm probably going to do more than 1 back test, but I'm going to do 1 video per set of rules. So again, I'm going to enter a position at the market at the close of any candle that closes either at or above the MeBob bar high for a long, or a subsequent candle that closes at or below the MeBob bar low for a short. This first pass through will take profit at a measured move of the MeBob bar, regardless of the entry. I'm then going to do a second video where I am going to take profit at a measured move of the MeBob bar, measured from the close of the signal bar. Okay. Also, just probably noticed, changed up some colors here. Everything is going to be the same. So this is my affirmation chart using a white background. And how did I do this? Affirmation chart using a dark background. And so this is my MeBob template. And this with the white background, and you will see a difference, I believe. I see it as soon as I change. This really gets tough on my eyes after a while. I did a lot of chart work yesterday, and I really noticed toward the end of the day, and I mean it's many hours yesterday, starting in the afternoon until probably about 6 hours. Probably started around 3 in the afternoon, took a dinner break, did take a break to take a walk with my family, and but mostly I was on the charts, and by about 9 or 10 o'clock last night, this white background was appearing sort of rosish, sort of like pinkish to me, and so that's why I did this. Again, let me just move it forward, we'll come back to it just so you can see. They're exactly the same. The only difference here is the color, of course, and I did add the MeBob ranges for each day this week. I didn't do any looks at the results, just wanted to save time on the video and get these MeBob ranges exact and on the chart. So get started here, go back to Monday, look for Monday Here's Tuesday, here's Monday, and that's a different week. Went too far. Just want to do this. The week is just passed. Here we go. Alright. So, again, we're waiting for a closeout or above. This candle closed above. So we're going to take profit. See if it, I'm sure it did. So, profit target would have been 5807.50. And 5807.50 would have entered around 275. So, about 4 3/4 points, I believe. If my math is off a little bit, forgive me. Stop loss would have been down here, so profit target would have been reached. Okay, next MeBob. Where did this close? High was 2250. Close was 2250. So we're going to enter for this back test. We're going to enter here. So it would have been filled somewhere around that 2250. So this is going to be, should be fairly accurate. Did I grab the right tool? So we're looking for profit target at 29 3/4. It obviously filled that. Would have actually filled you on a 2-to-1. So let's go back to Monday, just so we know that both Monday and Tuesday would have been profitable with this set of rules. Did we get to a 2? We would have gotten to a 2 also. So 2 days hit both a 1R and a 2R target. And, okay, so here, so this is your MeBob, so it poked above, closed down, didn't close at the low though, so we're not going to enter on that bar. Al Brooks, this would be I would put a sell stop and go short right here. But for MeBob, the low was 5.5, close was 5 3/4, close but no cigar, would have entered down here. So again, stop loss above the MeBob bar high, and we're just looking at, so this is really a bear flag here. I don't know if you can see it that way. Sometimes if you put the lines on, it makes it a little easier. Let's copy, paste. So, little bear flag, sell off, H1, L1, short into a low, leg 1, leg 2. Anyway, that's Brooks price action. This would be your L1 signal bar, and your, this is where you would have, did that enter? Would have been entered here if you did L1s. L1 is a low one, just the first bar that makes a lower low than a previous bar after a pullback in a downtrend. Your next L, you get this inside bar, so this is your L2 signal bar. L2s and H2s typically going to be a more reliable signal, simply because when you have a strong uptrend and there's a pullback, you're more often to get 2 legs, and when you're in a downtrend, again, we're likely to get 2 legs up, sell here. But for MeBob purposes, stop loss is up here, 1R target was filled here, 2R target was also filled. So we have 3 days in a row where using this rule set would have resulted in. Now, when I say 1R and 2R, I don't mean that it was a 1R, 2R trade. I mean that a measured move of the MeBob range was hit. So you could use a measured move of the MeBob range as your profit target. You could also use a double measured move of the MeBob range as your profit target. So your profit would not have been these numbers here. It would have been less because your entry would have been around 1 3/4, rather than 5.5. So you got to subtract about $200 from each of those. But I'm not going to go that far, just pointing that out. I don't want to get rid of MeBob. Just want to see if I can capture it, get rid of that. Okay, move on to Thursday. Alright, so here's your close above. Here's your MeBob range. And stop loss below the MeBob range. And on this day, you would have hit the measured move target of the MeBob bar. Would have come a little short of a 2R target. And I shouldn't say 2R because that's not accurate in this case. It's a measured move. So there's a measured move and a doubled measured move. Here you had a clear micro double top, sort of a parabolic wedge. Again, this is all Al Brooks terminology. I didn't make any of this up. I didn't create this. I didn't discover this. And the language I use just happens to be the language that I learned from watching Al Brooks's and studying Al Brooks's course. So here's your spike. This is your channel. You can say it's a parabolic wedge. Micro double top because it was less than 5 bars between the two highs. Others would call this a 1, 2, 3 top, sell below the 2. You have a trend line that came up, and this would be the break of the trend line, the back test of the trend line. And here's your short. A lot of ways to describe price action. It's all the same. And don't let yourself be fooled into thinking, since you can use different terminology, and because there's not a standardized, accepted language that we use to describe these same price behaviors, that they're somehow subjective and not objective. You can certainly objectively define micro double tops, double tops, and if you use a trend line and a 1, 2, 3, it's all the same. So we have 3 days where it hit both full measured move and a double measured move prior to taking out the stop loss, and on the 4th day we hit a one-time measured move, and we came 1, 2, 3 ticks short of a double measured move. Okay, let's get rid of the risk reward tool and move to Friday. So Friday close was here. So again, so 4 of the 5 days last week would have been very good for MeBob traders using this particular rule set. Let's see, only 13 minutes in here. I'm going to work backwards. I'm going to, since this risk reward tool is already in place, I'm going to try to grab it, and I believe Machine Learn said that he's using a measured move of the MeBob bar from the close of the signal bar. So let's just see how that would work out. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going, I know what I should do then. I went too far. So I want to align, the low of this was 79. So I want to align the entry, actually with the close, 81.50. Alright. Okay. So a 1, so this is, just to distinguish, I was, the first time through, I was looking this price make a measured move of the MeBob bar as measured from either the low or the high of the MeBob bar. And then just looking to see if it also went to a double measured move. This is different. Your entry on this trade would have been here. So we're looking at your profit target as a measured move of the MeBob bar, but we're measuring from the close of the entry bar. So this was, or the signal bar. So this is the bar that signaled us to get into the market short because it closed below. Now my question for machine learn is, where is his stop loss? Is his stop loss then one tick above here? Or is it still above the high of the MeBob bar? That's interesting. For this pass through, I'm going to assume we're going to use the stop above or below the opposite extreme of the MeBob bar, and we'll see how that goes. So this would have been a profitable trade. I'm assuming taking a profit at that measured move from the close. So in this case, would have been a profit of $875. Risk, of course, was a little more. Okay, so let's get rid of this and go back. So in this case, we're looking at the long. And your entry, the close was 59. Whoop, I just lost my, that was odd. Multiple monitors, and that monitor just went out on me. Must have a loose connection. I'll fix it after I'm done. So the close, 59 3/4. So let's move our entry level to 59 3/4. Stop loss still going to be one tick below MeBob. Measured move target was here. So if you used a measured move of the MeBob bar, but you measured from the close of the signal bar, this would have resulted in a target, a profit of $537.50. Okay. So this is an interesting idea that machine learn had. Alright, so here we're going to take a short, and we're going to close, is at 1 3/4. So we're going to come down. Okay, so enter here. I'm just curious. So stop loss at 1050. Would have been 1075. Look, this is kind of interesting in that the retrace was equal to the MeBob range as well. Even if you had used one tick above here, the MeBob range measured from your entry, you would have stayed in this trade. But of course, we're using a stop loss above the MeBob. And again, this one eventually hit. This would have been a long trade for MeBob. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another 40 minutes, so 8 bars, but you would have made that measured move profit, $437.50. And then while I'm getting rid of this and moving back to Tuesday, just a reminder, the reason I believe MeBob is a perfect method to use to perform the Mark Douglas exercise is that it's completely mechanical, and now the only thing discretionary is you have to decide which money management rules you are going to use. So I've shown this is the second different set of money management rules you could use. You could also use a fixed profit target. I was using 10 points per trade. We're doing machine learn's method right now, if I'm not exact, he can always correct us in the thread. But I'm trying to, I'm doing this based on my understanding of his post. Alright, so this would have been a long trade. This is one where the close was at the MeBob bar high. We're going to assume we entered at the MeBob bar high. So we're looking at another profitable trade of a measured move. Profit of $362.50. And what's interesting is we started this particular set at the end of the week. That trade on Friday had a profit of almost $900, and it was, I think, $500 and then $400, now $300. But using a measured move as your profit target, it self-adjusts to the current 5-minute ATR and volatility. That's good. To Monday. Alright, so on Monday, this is our MeBob range. Triggered an entry, the close was at 275. So I'm going to move that entry level to 275. And so this would have been a profit of $325 if you're taking your profit at a measured move of the MeBob. So last week, had you used either of these rules, would have been a very good week for MeBob. On the other hand, had you used a price action stop, it would not have been nearly as good. So, for myself going forward, I'm going to accept the risk of the MeBob range, and I am going to apply the machine learn profit target as I understand it. Again, I may be mistaken, and machine learn can correct me in the thread, but I like that idea of setting your profit target to a full measured move of the MeBob bar as measured from the close of the signal bar. I do. I like that. So that's that. And so MeBob review for the past week. I traded some days. I didn't trade. I guess I probably traded every day. Just been taking a little bit of a break. Just a word about that. Rocky Point, who I really feel was sort of the closest thing at Forex Factory I've had to a mentor. We became friends, more so than I am with most. I have like 5 or 6 people I know from Forex Factory who've I've become friends with, communicating through private messages, Discord, email type of thing. And anyway, I joined Forex Factory specifically to ask Rocky Point a question about his method, and he responded immediately. I don't know how long it passed, but it was his post, I believe, was the next one in his thread after I asked the question. So whether it was a few minutes or a few hours, he did respond. That was the start of it. So he passed away, and I just found out, I guess, last Sunday or Monday night. I don't know which night it was. Maybe it was the week before. It's all a blur. But I'm just getting used to the idea of Forex Factory without Rocky. He was a great guy, a great human being, one of the kindest people at Forex Factory. Always respectful, always willing to help. Right up to the end. I mean, if you read his thread, his last few posts, I think Super Pip is a user who's following Rocky's method and was having some difficulties, and Rocky was on vacation, but he was checking in from time to time. And he said, "Hey, I don't know what you're doing there, but I'll be back soon, and I'll try to help you out then." And so Rocky came back, and unfortunately that day he came back was the last day we had him at 4X Factory. He logged out and never logged back in. And so I've not been as active in the thread, and I haven't been doing my videos as actively just because, hey, I'm mourning a little bit here, you know. This is very sad for me to have lost Rocky, and I'm going to miss him. I mean, whenever I think of 4X Factory, I think of him right along with it, like every time. Like if you see me make a post in the price bump thread, and I refer to FF, 4X Factory, I can't type that FF without having Rocky in my mind, because, again, for me, 4X Factory, my 4X Factory experience started with Rocky being the impetus for me to even sign up. So this after the fact hindsight review for the week is what I'm offering for this week. And this coming week, I do hope to be back to doing a brief, try to keep it to 10 minutes or so, review of MeBob trades and any significant and obvious Brooks price action setups that I might see that day. I'll go over those as well. So I'm going to try to get back into the swing of things here, and I appreciate all of you who've been following along in the thread and contributing to the thread. I appreciate your questions, your contributions. We all have something to offer, because even a question makes us think, right? It prompts thought in myself and the others. So I appreciate you all, and hey, let's do some more learning this coming week. Have a great weekend.